It's time to go beyond plus ultra for more Boku no Hero Academia.
Feeling a lot of minus Art Lou in this one too.
I'm feeling a lot of points.
I'm feeling a lot of bullshit.
Points?
Bullshit.
Points for me.
I'll give you 20 points.
Do I get a, even though we, even though I didn't say it on the recording, and you were there when we stopped the recording about 2 minutes later, I said, oh shit, I should have said Lady Nagant instead. And she shows up too. So do I get 5 points off camera or because I didn't predict it on the
You said
record?
shoot you should have and you didn't. So you also didn't say that I'm also adding that. So I'm not counting
Okay.
that one. You
Okay.
got
Okay.
10 for both La Brava and for Gentle. You got 10 apiece, so you got 20.
Points! At
I feel like this
last.
was a big ass pull
At
because there should
last.
have been something about this happening.
And not just out of nowhere.
Not just out of nowhere flashback. This totally definitely happened back then for sure, believe me. There should have at least been Deku who's scanning the fucking police radio being like, "Oh, cool. Maybe there was that one, uh uh jail that didn't have people break out. That's good." Maybe a nod to that during the Dark Deku saga we had.
I wonder what happened there? Question
Yeah,
mark.
that would have been a nice little tip off to mention that. Nothing. We got nothing. Out of fucking nowhere bullshit. Nagant, even that one I feel is kind of horseshit just because it's like she was wrecked. And they were not. They they had what, 2 weeks at best, is what we know. 2 weeks where she was wrapped up from literally detonating from the inside. I'm sorry, I don't like unless there was some kind of thing where they had a recovery girl esque healer in the fucking thing. I don't buy it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry Horikoshi did an ass pull.
It feels like such an ass pull because it's like none of this was set up, none of this is deserved. There's no reason they should just randomly be here like this. Absolutely nothing. I get the idea, right? What we got last episode, I get the idea what he's going for. And I do appreciate it, right? Last episode was the whole everything you built up till now coming to fruition for the villains. And now it's on Deku's side. Now it's Deku's actions reverberating back to him. Still waiting on Stain! Because I feel like that's clearly a thing that's going to happen.
Maybe next episode, maybe in 2 episodes, maybe in like 3 or 4. I don't know.
He's in the intro. He's going to show up somewhere. I refuse to believe he won't. I just don't know when. When's he going to come in and start paralyzing people by drinking their blood?
Well, there's 5 more episodes left in this season. He's bound to show up.
I have to. I'm quite curious as to where he shows up.
And for how long?
Well, actually, okay. So I got a little speculation here because I'm curious how this would work, right?
Okay. We've
We haven't even started the episode yet, right? But I need to put this out here because I'm just curious because I thought of it
okay.
just now. So we see Sad Man's parade, right?
Sad Man's Death Parade.
Yeah, we see that going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would happen if Stain manages to cut the original Toga and drink her blood? Does that just shut down all of the clones?
Good question. I don't know.
I feel like that would shut down Sad Man's parade because they're all duplicates of her / twice.
Huh.
Would be
Oh.
interesting too, considering both of their abilities involve drinking blood.
Right. But we'll get back to the moment that pissed you off soon.
No, it'll be at the very tail end. Because we get all of the preview, or like 99% of it, before we get the intro music. Like, all of those scenes that we see at the end are literally right before they play the intro.
I
There's like
mean,
two that aren't.
this isn't a full-on surprise because I think this happened last season that, like, all the preview was like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, but all of this is literally before we get the intro song. That didn't happen before. The only thing I think we got that wasn't there was the little bit of talk between Deku and the second. Everything else was right before.
Yeah, so Toga uses Sadman's death parade. It's bad. Dobby is burning Gunga Villa. Very bad.
And as we mentioned at the end before, Ochiko and Sue are here.
And they meet up with Earphone Jack and Tsukiyomi.
Mm-hmm. Tsukiyomi must be like, oh, thank God I don't have to carry her anymore. Because now she can just float. He was trying not to say anything about how much she weighed. He was trying to be very polite about it, but dear God, was he relieved.
Dark Shadow was all like, ora, ora, ora! It being a stand. How zombie-like does Dobby look right now?
Oh, he looks like he's barely conscious. He looks like he is just barely there.
Like, it's nearly dragon spitting out flames from his mouth.
It's like flaring from his feet.
I think it's flaring from everywhere, really.
Well, I mean, like, I think the stuff that's lighting everything on fire anyway. I think it's coming from his feet, because I don't see him, like, blasting with his arms or anything.
Okay, so, like, the rocket booster kind of thing is, like, burning everything while keeping him floating.
That's what it kind of seems like.
So, how do you think Gunga Villa will be extinguished before the flames reach other parts of Japan?
That is a solid question, and considering who we know is here right now, I'm not sure. Like, none of the class 1A kids can do anything about it, even as like a combination that I can think of. Endeavor can't do shit. He just makes more flames. Hawks can't do anything about it. I'm trying to think who else is in there that's like got any kind of importance. Oh, actually, it could be like, assuming you can get it under control. Pixie Bob, the wild pussycat, who can manipulate the earth, make earth monsters and shit.
Oh, okay. So she can make, like,
She,
earth walls.
well, not. I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking literally she could just wrap shit in earth and it would extinguish because it wouldn't have oxygen anymore.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, she could make a wall. She could make walls. Or maybe another way to do it, just let it burn itself out within the walls. She's the only one I can think of that would have that potential right now. That said, right, based on the intro, I feel like Shoto's going to show up here, so we might get some ice involved too.
Oh, okay.
Since we do see him and Ingenium like flying through the city, I'm gonna guess Ingenium's gonna like piggyback him and just hypersonic speed him over here. I don't know if Ingenium's gonna be able to do anything after that, because the last time we saw them do something like this, it took Shoto literally freezing his engine legs so they wouldn't overheat, and it literally took everything out of him to pull it off. So I don't know how much stamina he's gonna have right after doing that.
And
But I'm fairly certain that's what's gonna happen here.
And since he just fought Dobby, he's already kind of weakened.
Oh, Ingenium or Shoto?
Shoto.
Yes, Shoto would be. I was gonna say, I feel like Ingenium was just kind of on the sidelines. He couldn't really do much outside of just get people out of the way.
Right. But, I mean, Phosphor could help cool it more.
I'm not sure how that works. right? Because they don't. I don't remember if they say it's specifically cold fire, like it's actually cold to the touch, or cold as in you can touch it and it doesn't burn, like it's neutral.
Ah, okay, okay.
I don't know exactly whether or not it feels cold or if it's just neutral.
Ah, okay, because I thought phosphor was more of a ice attack than a fire attack.
I don't know. It's not really explained well in this show, at least so far.
And what is All for One planning? Because I thought he mentioned something about stealing warp, but we find out that Korgiri is already at the coffin in the sky.
I
I'm,
don't think he mentioned about stealing warp.
but
I don't
he,
remember him saying steal specifically, at least.
yeah, but I thought he said something along the lines of his sludge warp isn't as good as Korgiri's warp.
He does mention that, and I think that's in reference to the fact that he can't just get there as quickly,
Okay, okay.
because he's talking about a longer effective range. Although he does mention it would have been best if he had gotten that for himself, and maybe like instead giving Kurogiri the sludge warp instead of giving him the full on warp.
Mm.
Maybe that's what he's talking about, but that's,
Okay.
a
Yeah,
retrospect kind of thing.
yeah, I knew I misinterpreted the line somehow.
But yeah, given all the shit that's going on, he's like, all right, cool, I'll just head on over. I am curious what sludge warp can do though, right? Like, why can't he just warp to one place and then do it again? Like right after. Is there some kind of cooldown or what?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe he'd be in a place
Yeah,
where
is it like instant transmission, or he's got to like lock onto something first?
I think so.
Anyway, yeah, All for One is all like, I'm out of here. Hawks is like, no, you don't. And then in the meantime, he's like, oh, there's a reason. I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. That's why I gotta be there.
Do you think that's the full case?
I mean, like, I have a feeling, even like while the metamorphosis that was taking place with his body, All for One knew that the other half was still struggling to contain that personality of his. Right? I can't
Oh,
imagine he wasn't aware of that.
okay.
After all, they do have that like mental connection.
hmm
I can't imagine that he's not fully aware of like him not being fully complete. Which again is why I feel like he's gonna let himself get absorbed right now.
Oh,
I
so
still think that's the end goal, is to like fully get himself absorbed into Tomura and just take over.
so substitute will absorb Prime, and then Prime will somehow override.
I mean, right now you have a vestige and the original still alive, right?
Right.
The vestige of All for One that's inside Shigaraki right now, right?
Yes.
We see the same situation with All Might and the vestige of All Might. That vestige isn't fully formed until All Might dies.
So, yeah, we also have Toga twice invading the coffin in the sky.
Oh, of course.
Eraserhead and
Oh,
Naito.
you do forget, right? That Hawks is shouting down to Endeavor that he needs to take on Dabi.
Dobby.
Meanwhile, Hawks is going to do everything to shut down All for One.
And Devin's kind of having some existential crisis like, this is the real Dobby. I need to take him down. I need to
Also,
take down my son.
interesting tidbit. Endeavor gets flame wings, flaming angel wings. Interesting.
I found that weird.
Interesting choice. I don't know how that's gonna work.
So he can fly now?
I mean, he could before. He just had jet feet.
Or can he just jump good?
Maybe he can jump good. I don't know.
I'm kind of surprised that Shiggy, for one, when Erasure broke, he didn't know it and instantly go to evaporate everything.
He's having that weird body reaction at the moment, so I don't know how much he's able to control himself.
Which is like another body breaking through, or what exactly happened?
Yeah, it's weirdly like he shed off that weird hand form that he was in before. And we see like this big yellow flash going on, and whatever it is causing like a big fucking earthquake essentially on the entire island. I don't know exactly what that was. Outside of just like maybe he released a quirk and didn't realize it in the middle of doing that.
And like the explosion causes the coffin to go like sideways, causes like engines to fail.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that Skeptic is shutting shit down from the inside,
Yeah.
like hacking into it. Speaking of which, oh yeah, actually, we don't even get to that part. I saw a little bit of it, but we get there a little later.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Shigaraki's back in control, it seems, for the moment. Give him a little talk about, like, I'm still here, what the fuck did you actually want? And then we cut back to Skeptic.
Not exactly yet. We find out that Gear Shift is starting to have its repercussions. Deku is having
Yeah.
trouble breathing.
Yeah. See, I knew there was going to be some kind of repercussions for this. It was
Apparently, he's moving so fast, his body can't process oxygen.
I think that's a secondary side effect to it.
Mm.
I think it's that the body needs to rest because moving at that highest speed is putting way too much stress on the body. And recovering, like trying to take in oxygen and shit, right, is
Mm-hmm.
part of like recovering from that. He's not getting enough, is the way I read it.
Yeah, kind of like you run a mile and then you're like, I'm winded.
Yeah, the exhaustion is kicking in
Mm-hmm.
from pushing yourself that fast. That said, again, I'm real curious if this affects other things besides himself.
So could he change the velocity of a pen, for example?
I mean, that was what the original quirk could do. I don't know if that is still intact or not at this point. Like, can he slow down Shigaraki or whatever he's fighting against instead of himself? Or, interestingly enough, what if he could speed up Shigaraki?
Oh.
Like, Shigaraki's gonna attack him and is coming in for like a charge, and Deku Quick, rather than do anything else, touches him and speeds him up so that he flies forward into something else. Like he's rocketing at a faster speed than he expects and smashes into shit.
I could see where you mean with that, but I think that may be a little bit more comedic
It
than.
might be, but I can definitely see strategically how that would work.
Right.
Because, like, if suddenly your body is moving at a much faster pace than you're able to mentally understand at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to fuck you up. And it's going to fuck you up for a while until your brain starts processing how that speed is working now. Even more so if Deku can just keep changing that speed at a moment's notice.
So yeah, Skeptic is being hacked.
No, he's all happy. He's the one doing the hacking right now. He's all excited. He's a happy boy. He's getting into everything.
But then the Brava starts hacking him.
Do we even know who that is at the moment? Also, we cut back to Shiggy, and they're just like, he's also having trouble being in control. They're both having trouble, and it's giving them a chance to just recover.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, we see a silhouette with pigtails, only to find out that it's La Brava, having a good old fun time, doing some hacking.
And everybody's like, we have to trust a villain to do this.
I love the fact that these two have like a repertoire. Like, she fucked with him before. Like, when she had nothing else to do as a shut-in. She fucked with him before. And this is just bringing up every bit of animosity he has from that moment again. Of like, she's like, you're doing the same shit all over again? Really? Oh, this is easy. It's just the same shit. How do you like my optic kitty? We're going back to this again.
And like, I know I forget what it was, but it seems that Skeptic would not fare well with Junji Ito. Because like
Skeptic would be the guy that thinks he's in charge only for this kind of shit to happen where everything fucking turns around on him.
Yeah, because
everything he thought he was in control of has really just been a puppeteered for now.
He mentioned like the fear of holes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like not knowing what that was, and I just quick typed it in, and that's the first thing that popped into my mind. I'm like, oh, you would not fare well with Junji Ito.
No. Don't make them do the pump dance, though. Not the pump dance.
I lost it at that. I lost it at that.
So everything starts getting taken over. Skeptic is like, I'm not letting you take the other shit. Apparently there was someone that was his computer?
Yeah?
I don't know what that is.
Was his quirk to merge with technology?
I have no fucking idea. Anyway, they grab a couple of unhacked computers and they're like, look, we've got these. These are the ones that are the most important. They're the ones controlling UA. We need to get the fuck out of here. Out of their, like, little fucking Skeptic cave. Only to run into a handful of heroes that are waiting out there being like, hey man, we heard where you were at. Decided to pay a visit.
We were the closest ones.
Anyway, they're like, cut back to La Bravo, who's like, oh man, we gotta get this back under control. You know, I've got to write a whole new code to, like, get the thing to not fall. And she's like, I'm not gonna get it done in time.
Hack faster! Hack faster!
All right, cut back to, I keep wanting to call it the castle in the sky. The prison in the sky.
Coffin,
thank you. Everyone on the inside is like, all right, guys, we're going to have to fight twice. It's bad. Bracier's undone. So they grab, like, Kaminari and a couple of the others that are inside, like, the electric power source. And they're like, we're going to have to deal with it. The fucking B-52s come in and like, do we fire on them? No, but then we're going to hit our allies. Shit, what do we do? And then we see a man bouncing along the ocean. And I'm just sitting here like, how long was he doing this? How long did it take him to get out here?
How mad were you when you saw Gentle?
I was less mad with La Brava. I can kind of see where that would have come from. Gentle then being here just randomly out of nowhere at the most convenient of times, by the way. No idea how he got here in the first place other than he was hopping around on his way.
Secondary question. How mad at me were you?
I can't be mad at you because you were also pulling this out of your ass. You were desperately trying to think of someone and you just pulled these two.
Okay.
I'm more mad that this is the ass pull they went with that was not set up. And they're like, but the flashback though, yeah, you didn't plan for this. This was, you needed something and you just grabbed it. Yeah, anyway, we see Gentle Criminal.
There was one prison that was everybody's breaking out. All for one is saying, hey, do whatever you want. I don't care. Have some fun.
It was actually Muscular. Muscular was the one that broke them out.
Ah, okay.
And said, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
And who should step in front of them but Gentle Criminal? Hey, what do you think you're doing? Everybody stay back.
Do you really want to do this? Oh, fuck yeah, we do. I want to murder more people. All right. Rolls up his sleeve. I gotta say, I like him better with the, like, messy hair and shit. I think he looks better.
Yes.
You know who he's reminding me of, actually? Especially on this scene where he's sitting there, like, cross-legged in front of the jail. He's reminding me of the fucking, like, drunk-ass priest from Vinland Saga.
Oh.
he looks almost identical to that dude, except Gentle is gray haired. All ragged and fucking messy hair and beard and unkempt and shit. He looks just like that dude right now. Anyway, Gentle's like, you know, that kid struck a chord in me. The gorilla man walks up. What do you want, Gentle? He's like, I want to repay the kid. Also, La Brava, really want to see my little tiny girl.
I know there is a not large age difference between them, but I do know there's like sizable. I want to say maybe like
20 years or
9.
something.
I thought it was like, yeah.
Unless Gentle, it just looks older than he actually is, and I'm not remembering. Like, La Brava's in her, like, mid to late 20s, I want to say. Let me see here.
Also looking it up.
Gentle Criminal, how old are you?
Last appearance 40 to 41. Or wait, no, maybe I spoiled myself and he'll pop up in some time skip at the end.
There might be.
So
Gentle Criminal age. He is 32, and La Brava is 22. It's 10 years.
okay, so he is older than he looks.
Yeah, he looks older than he is. Okay. Maybe he's graying his hair with some kind of dye or something. Because, like, when you see him in flashbacks, his hair looks a little slightly bluish. Like, he's got a bluish tinge to it. Whereas, like, every time we've seen him in current timeline, it's all gray.
Either that
Anyway,
or he's getting gray early because
it could be.
Yeah, I do know someone whose hair is graying, and he's, I want to say, like, a few years younger than me.
True, though usually that tends to be the case with it's either high stress or genetic. One of the two, I think, is usually the case, right? Like they say, kids are the reason that like adults get gray hairs real fast. I could see that. I could see kids being super stressful to deal with, especially if you have multiple. I don't think Gentle qualifies for that one.
No? Okay, so maybe it's just a stylistic choice then.
It could be. Either he is stylizing it himself or he is genetically graying early. One of the two, I would say.
Okay.
Anyway, La Brava gives him big old love power boost, which apparently, weird that it is like that distant. That is a long ass range that ability works at.
Long distance romance?
Anyway,
I don't even know.
Also, they make a little statement about how absence makes
the heart grow fonder.
A heart grow fonder, which I think is implying that the longer that they've been separated, La Brava has like her love for him has just grown even more.
Mm-hmm.
In essence, giving her quirk a much bigger power boost. I would be curious to know just how strong this is.
Well, it's strong enough for him to make a unnamed attack to cover the entire coffin in the sky and rebalance it.
So my first thought, right, when this was happening was, the fuck's he gonna do? If he's launching himself that hard at this thing, he's just gonna fucking blast through it. I didn't think that his bubble would be that large, but I guess it makes sense since the love boost also affects quirks. It's not just their physical strength and shit. It also affects the strength of the quirks. So between putting like a big bubble to push against the coffin in the sky falling and another bubble beneath himself to help keep him from dropping back down, he's able to right it back into place. And Deku, hearing about what is happening with the air, realizes who's here.
Yeah, and then
time to decay.
Except, his hand.
You didn't need that hand, did you?
His hand's blown off by Lady Nagant.
Well, here's the question, right? How long does that last, considering super regeneration is back in effect?
Right.
That hand's gonna be back pretty quick.
Seconds? Or, like, do we have, like, a minute or two?
I have no idea considering what just happened to his body. Like with the whole molting kind of shit going on. I have
Or,
no clue what their time frame is on that now.
yeah, or because of his whole molten regeneration thing going on
Well, like
is.
they mentioned that he seems to be stuck too, right? Like
Mhm.
unable to activate other quirks at the moment. I don't know if a passive quirk like that is just still constantly active or not. Like we saw how quickly he was getting back like those monstrous hand pillars before.
Yeah.
Don't know how quick that's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lady Nagana is apparently, I'm going to guess, on top of the hospital she's literally staying in, firing off fucking snipers, apparently.
How far away is she, though?
I have no fucking idea.
And
Like, she's still in the city, and that shit's out over the ocean.
and I forget, like,
We can't even see it as we're, like, panning back to where she's at, right? As we're seeing, like, we're panning over from, like, the distance, and we're seeing her muzzle of the rifle come into, like, view. We can't see the coffin from this distance. It is way out there.
I am not sure how far her max range is, but it says Snipe expressed how she could far exceed his homing quirk's 600-meter skill range with skill alone. It doesn't say, like, if she could do, like, 5-10 kilometers, but yeah, I mean, it could be possible she can do, like, at least 5 or more kilometers.
I have no idea. Either way, it's too far away to see. Like with the naked eye where she's at.
Yeah.
At best, it'd be a speck. Anyway, on to the preview.
Mm-hmm.
How many more times is Lady Nagant gonna be able to fire is the next question, considering she's still fucking wrapped up like a mummy, damn it.
Right.
That's probably not gonna be able to happen a lot.
No.
Gentle still holding shit up for the moment. Don't know how long the Brava's ability is gonna last. It's not long, I remember that much. It seems like we're gonna be bouncing back and forth a little bit. Also, something bad must be happening to Hawks. Because Tsukiyomi has this massive fucking fear on his face in one part of the preview. Like, there is a shock of, like, fear in him right there.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the final few episodes of the season, and we're less than 50 chapters left of the manga, I think. I think we're
Mm-hmm.
at about the 50 to go mark. So, and again, I'm not too sure how long the epilogue arc lasts, chapters or episodes. So, yeah, I'm not too sure how much longer this battle will go on for, but there must be some casualties. There has got
Oh,
to be.
oh yeah, sure. The question is, are they all going to be nameless heroes or not? Nameless background characters that we don't know about.
Yeah, yeah. But like one major player has got to die. I don't know who, but like somebody has to die. To like rally whatever side.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my thought is, again, this assumes they don't manage to run the timer out here. My assumption is still that All for One gets to Shigaraki and gets absorbed. That is my assumption of what's going to happen. At least in his case. As for like who else on the hero side is going to die, I don't know. Like, are we going to lose some Class A or Class B students? Maybe. I don't know.
If they do you think they'll like merge into a new Class 2A with, like, however many survived? Wait, no, that would mean, like, at least a dozen would die. I mean,
I mean, my thought on this would be, right,
mhm.
after this war arc, because obviously the heroes are gonna win. It's a happy story, yada yada yada. Uh, they're just gonna graduate. They're just gonna be given the like professional hero licenses for having lived through and helped stop this problem. It's gonna be like you've literally done the thing.
So,
There's nothing else that you didn't just survive, like live through, that we can teach you anymore.
so like instant graduation for everybody.
I would think for
Huh.
like all of the ones involved.
So like the episode arc will be the graduation arc.
I mean, it'll either be that or it's like, look, guys, there's not much else we can teach you. You lived through it, man. All right. Here's some like maybe small odds and ends. It's mostly just ceremonial at this point that you have to go through this.
Well, we won't find that out next time, but we will find out other things next time on the next episode.
Dobby gonna die?
I don't know. I mean, I could reach up my ass and pull out another answer, but
Look it. Do it. Let's see what happens. Stretch that thing. See how big it can get.
like I don't even have any sort of
Can't make it any bigger than Horikoshi is doing right now.
right. Right. I mean, like, I don't have anything to grab onto now.
I have heard the rumblings that people were not happy with how this show ends or the manga ends. I'm curious if that's going to translate when we get there.
Yep, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and come back next time.